Yesterday, I went along to Age UK here in the centre of Bolton to talk to two young ladies by the name of Vicky Urmston and Leanne Fretwell, and that was about the befriending service that they offer. So listen now to the first part of my conversation, which was with Vicky. Vicky Urmston, we're going to talk a little about the Age UK Bolton befriending scheme in which you have an involvement. Tell me what it is.
Befriending is companionship for isolated people where they can spend quality time with someone. And this might mean just relaxing in their own home and chatting or on the telephone. It could be a short walk around the local area or visiting a coffee shop or a garden centre. It's basically whatever is agreed between the befriendee and the befriender.
Yeah. Now, this is something which Age UK has run for some time, but of course I understand that it had to change during the lockdown, yes. In that the face-to-face contact had to stop, didn't it?
It did, yes, but so volunteers quickly changed track and offered the services for telephone befriending. So this was very popular, and I'm sure it's something that some people would continue with. It was difficult for some people who maybe had hearing problems or memory problems. The face-to-face contact is really more important for those people.
Yes, but of course it couldn't happen, but you're getting back to that, I gather.
Yes, we are, yeah. So we're working very hard at Age UK. We've matched a few people up, and if they've started their face-to-face befriending, we obviously have to look at what's changed for people and if anything different needs to be put in place, and awareness to make people feel confident having somebody back in their own home.
Now, I gather that there are a large number of lonely people in the Bolton area.
There are, yes. I've not got the exact figure.
No, it's all right.
But yeah, there's lots of people feel isolated. I mean, many people live alone, but some people can feel isolated even if they've got family around them because they don't see them often enough. And sometimes by having a befriender, you get to chat about somebody else's life and about you get to know somebody else's family, and sometimes it's something to talk to your own family about. It just brings that extra interest into your life.
How do you match befrienders and befriendees? Is there any magic to it?
In ideal times, it was difficult during the pandemic to actually match everybody up who have similar interests. But we do ask people, what interests they have. Do they have hobbies? Do they like sport? Do they watch certain television programmes? Do they like a male or a female befriender? So we try to, get these as close as possible.
And what's your role in it, Vicky?
I will, first of all, somebody would refer a befriendee to the service, who I would then go and visit, and we do an home visit with that person, and we'll go through a questionnaire and, see if somebody has pets, because obviously we don't want to match somebody up who might not like animals or have an allergy to animals. And then we would look at the volunteer list, and we would look at some of the hobbies and interest in the volunteer, and also sometimes the location in where they live. Somebody might want to volunteer but doesn't drive, and then we would say, we'd match them up, and we would all three go to visit the client on the first visit.
Do you get any feedback about the success or otherwise of the befriending service?
Oh yes, very much so. It's such a lifeline to so many people. For example, one person had been feeling very low, managing pain, and once she was matched with her befriender, she found that having someone to talk to regularly made her forget about her pain. And it's also hearing about somebody else's life. It's just that interest. It just expands your whole world so much.
Yeah. And The situation, again, from my own observations, many people have been reluctant to go out during the lockdown periods, and I think the confidence has gone.
Yes.
Have you experienced that?
I have experienced that. So even people who might have family close by, due to isolation and families, moving, away a little bit, and different health problems with shielding, that even though somebody might feel quite independent inside their own home, to make them first steps outside, even sometimes walking, up the path and along the road, seems quite daunting, especially if you're unsteady on your feet. So, which brings us to a new project that we're on the cusp of bringing out, something called PALS, which is Promoting Active Lives. And this is very much like Befriending, where we will, we'll match in the same way. It will be for a shorter period of time, but that person will actively go out to do activities with that person, whether it is going for a walk, or taking them to the shops for the first time, or a coffee shop or garden centre. And it's just getting people to have that confidence to go back into society and just do the things that we're doing before the pandemic.
Yeah. And this is something that is an addition to an add-on to what you're doing at present.
This is an add-on to what we're doing at present, yes.
Yeah.
And it's something, hopefully, we're going to spend the next year working on this, and I'm sure if it's successful, hopefully, it'll continue. But I'm just thinking continue, I suppose, is in, hopefully the pandemic is, not going to come back and isolate everybody to go through some of the problems developed.
Even if it all finishes, there'll still be people in need of the service.
Of course there is, yeah. I mean, sometimes people who come out of hospital for, and get till they're at home for a certain period of time, lose that confidence to go outdoors and to get back into doing some of the activities they did previously.